Okay. We opened a Bristlebane Battler. Really good 2-drop. This is an interesting pack for me, actually, because the two best cards in the pack are the decks that I draft the least. Kithkin and Goblins. Not that this is explicitly a Kithkin... Not that this is explicitly a Kithkin card, but it is a Kithkin. I'm going to take it here. I think it's the strongest card in the pack. Bogger Mischief, I won't say a distant second, but it's pretty different compared to the Battler. Hold is fine. Weaver is solid. Pretty happy about this, though. Hey, Zoix, how's it going? Now we get to this pack, and there isn't an obvious pick here. Like, definitely not an obvious pick to follow up the Battler. There's this Lamenter, and I think this card is fine. I've actually come down on this card quite a bit. Not a bad card, but pretty filler if you're not doing negative counter things. If you're not making this an engine, I think it's fairly unexciting. I could take the Brawler. That's just like, not exactly synergistic with the Battler, but it's an okay card. I guess if I'm taking an Elf card, I probably just take Eulogist instead. I do think Eulogist is the best card in the pack. We've got some solid blue cards, too. So, yeah, let's take the Eulogist. If there was a good white card, or, like, just a generically good white card, generically good green card, I would take it. Maybe Cavalry is like, generically good enough. I could see that being the case. I do really like Eulogist, though. Another pack where there's nothing too exciting. I like me a Prisma Basher. Curse Tossers is really good, too. This is like the, we're getting to the point of the pack where signals start to matter. And this is the most signal-y card. The best card in the deck that it goes in, that is. Hey, Carm, how's it going? I think I'm just going to take the Basher. It's a toss-up with this tosser. Yeah, I actually kind of like the tosser now that I think about it. I do think it's enough better than Prisma Basher in the deck it goes in. Now we've got some green cards, some solid red cards. Well, some good red cards. The best cards in this pack are red. Zealot and Strike. I think I'd probably just take this Assert Perfection, though, to go with the Battler. Kind of take note of these and see where we end up. Okay, now not many good Kithkin cards. There's this Farmer. Seeker's pretty solid. There's an Evolving Wilds I could take. I also like Feastling a decent amount. I think I'm just going to take Wilds here, honestly. I'm not really pulled in any particular direction, and none of these cards are going to add a ton to any deck I draft. They're like filler or filler plus. Okay, now we get an Outrider. This is the best card we've seen in a pack or two. I like Outrider a lot. Also a Cinder, which I like. Is there any part of having passed that black enchantment that makes you less likely to take the Curse Tosser there, by the way? Also, hello. A small part of me, but not a ton. Like, I'm not influenced by that too much. Logic being, of course, that what you get passed is way more important than what you're passing. What you're passing only directly affects you for one pack of the draft, right? So if somebody next to you is in Goblins, pack 2 might be a little bit rocky, but pack 1, if Goblins is open, and then pack 3 will probably give you good stuff too. So yeah, it doesn't affect me too much. It's been an interesting draft. There has not been a very clear lane, and also, like, even the hints of good cards have not been clear. Like, usually at this part of the draft... Okay, well, there's the Eulogist. So usually at this point of the draft, there are a few good commons of whatever deck the people next to you aren't drafting floating through. And I guess Eulogist counts as that, so we'll just take that. Although I also do know that Eulogist is the kind of card that, for whatever reason, the draft population doesn't like. You'll just get them sometimes extremely late, even though it's a great card. I think I take Percher here. I don't care too much for these cards. I don't mind Percher as my top end in black-green. I could say a similar thing about Blackthorn, although I do like Blackthorn a lot less. All right. So yeah, very interesting pack one. Not a lot of power. We have this rare. We have some leads into elves. But yeah, we're really just hoping pack 2 sets up nicely. I guess it does seem like, when I'm in this kind of draft where nothing seems to be open, I do think it's helpful to cross off things on your list that are completely not open and just kind of nix those from a possible path. So I think like Merfolk seems extremely not open. We open an Ashling's Command. I think I'm going to take it. I think I'm going to take it here, yeah. I was talking in the latest podcast episode about how there are 3 cards in the sets: Ashling's Command, Kin Binding, and Gloom Ripper. That if you see those, you should probably just take them. We could end up in like blue-green splash red or red-green splash blue or something. Okay. Some decent elf cards here. Also good elf cards. I shouldn't just call them decent. That's underselling them. There's a Changeling. I do like Omni Changeling. There's an Assert Perfection. I kind of just like taking the Assert Perfection and then ending up in... yeah, maybe one of the off-brand decks, like green-red or blue-green, and playing this command. Gonna put this Curse Tosser in the sideboard. Toss it into the sideboard, as it were. Okay, Gathering Stone and Gifter. I like both these cards a lot. We're probably not going to end up in a focused enough deck for Gathering Stone to be good or playable. Although, the thing is, if you're in the off-brand decks, I do think Changelings get a little more appealing just to tie your synergies together. So maybe we do end up in a spot where that's true still. I think I'm probably going to take it. Yeah, it's just the best card by a lot. We've got 2 elementals. What else could you want? Tweeze, Swat Away, Wickermaw. I don't think we're actually in that dire need of fixing just yet. I mean, I would like one more to lock in the splash. So maybe I just take it here. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's not like Tweeze or Swat Away are like phenomenal cards. Basically, I think what I'm supposed to do here is just like leave myself open to getting past like whatever good cards I get past in pack 3. I just want to leave myself open to taking those. So that means picking up fixing, staying flexible. Seeing this Marrow here is good news, 5th pick, because that kind of backs up my theory that Merfolk is not a place to be. Logic is, of course, that whatever you see in pack 2 is kind of what you're not going to see in pack 3. Because the packs go the other way. Emissary is a good pickup. Any merit to taking Marrow? Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think... so this is the exact kind of draft that I think you're supposed to try to pick up what other people are putting down. And people are picking up Merfolk. Not this direction, but the other direction. Also, the Emissary plays nice with the double Assert Perfection. Happy to take Wayfinder here. Some thought to this Kith Keeper. It's another elemental. I mean, so is this Wayfinder, so that's not a hugely good argument. Hugely good, yes. What a culture we have. Where that's worked its way into my vocabulary. Alright, take a Blossom Bind. I guess there's also this Mauler, but we do need some interaction. Alright, I'll play an Archer. That's totally fine. Dignitary comes around too. We might end up with enough elves to play it. Not an Inferno deck, unfortunately. I do kind of like that card, but not for us here. So what are our counts? 4 elves. Not very many elementals. Bunch of changelings. Alright, so Scrounger sets up our mana, so that's sort of interesting. I don't love either of these rares. They're fine. They're solid. They do things. There's Strike as the best card in the pack. Could just take Cavalry. Like, it works well with our fight spells. We have a small elf package. Hands up if you have a small elf package. Nah, you know what? We also need interaction, and Strike's perfectly splashable. Well, seems like something funky happened. Or, maybe not exactly something funky. Probably the person next to us isn't Merfolk, but the person next to them could be Merfolk. I was saying it wasn't that open. We got past the champ. Shine Striker and Morkant's Eyes. Both interesting. Shine Striker needs less support to be good, and is not that much worse than Eyes. Like, if I don't pick up, you know, 3 more elves, I'm gonna be pretty sad about it. Kind of close, though. Yeah, kind of close. Take another Outrider. Okay, maybe it was elves all along. Elementals, everybody. Gonna take it. A little bit regret about not having that Eyes, but what are you gonna do? Okay, now we can take a Blight Rot. Or a Zealot. I would like a little more fixing at this point. To tie together our literal, actual factual 5-color deck. Let's take the Zealot. Maybe Loyalist is one of our only black cards we play. There's an Iron Shield Elf. There's a Stompling. I don't think I'm going to have early black all that often. There's also this Growth, but I'd prefer to not put that card in my deck. This is the kind of deck you want it, but I still would try to avoid it. It's just a little too weak. Take Tilling here. I could also take this Core. Tilling does some kind of similar things. Well, maybe Core is actually better. It's kind of close. I do want some cheap cards. I'm lacking that a little bit. Yeah, so I would take Growth if we had a lot of card advantage. Growth is the kind of card that, like, you're paying 2 mana for a land, right? That's pretty bad. Just in the abstract. I'll happily take a Prisma Basher here. You're also increasing your mana source density in your deck. So, for that card to be worth it, in my mind, you need to, A, be splashing a lot, and I think we're, like, splashing a medium amount. I don't know exactly how much we're even going to splash here. Don't, oh, wow. How lucky. Don't necessarily count all these cards as cards we're going to play. Gotta work it out in the build. And B, when you're putting additional mana sources in your deck, you need ways to make up the card advantage, or else you're just going to flood. And we don't really have that many. We've got Stone and Striker. I would want, like, 2 more card advantage tools, basically. I guess the Zealot counts, too. I would count Zealot in that. So it's, like, base green, splashing, like, base green blue, splashing black, splashing red. I think that's what's happening here. Yeah, that makes the most sense. One more card to play. Our interaction ends up being Assert Perfection, Bind, Command, Cleansing. I'm not dying to splash this Strike. I could also get these Eulogists in. What does just black-green look like? I think that's worth taking a little gander at. It is short a few playables, I think. And we also lose out on our Busto card. I could still see playing 1 or 2 Eulogists. That's a possibility. That's 22. Gotta sort of the mana. Don't worry, we're not deranged. We're not gonna have a mana base like that. Zell on the splash seems okay, since you could use a little more top end. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So basically, it also makes the mana quite a bit better if we're just like not playing these black cards or the strike. Okay, so this looks pretty good. We're going to start with a lot of green sources, because the vast majority of our deck is just green. A black card, 2 red cards, and 3 blue cards. So, 1 swamp. Probably like 5 islands and... Sorry, let me bring the mana over a little bit so you can see it. Yeah, more swamp, or sorry, more forests. What does that look like? Not sure the black is worth it? I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Considering we've got decent fixing for it, right? We've got Wayfinder, Wilds. We have to play a swamp, which is a cost. We have Wickermaw. Eyes really makes me want this card. Like, and we just also have a lot of elves. 6 elves plus our 2 shapeshifters. So it's not a ton of elves. It's 8, but it's enough. I also think this deck gets meaningfully less powerful if you cut the Loyalist. Is there a world I go to 4 islands here? 4 islands gives me 4, 5, 6, 7 blue sources. Is Gathering Stone still good? Yeah, I think so. I think it's good enough. I'm going to be calling elves on it, most likely. What's our elemental count, actually? 3. Yeah, we're going to be calling elves. It's good enough. Better than the cards in the sideboard, I believe. Although I could see an argument for Eulogist still being better. This is actually, like, so we're taking a long time in this build, but I just do think it's interesting. Because, like, this could be more focused, right? We could bring these 2 in and not get to play the busted card. I think it's a good spot to play the busted card, though. Alright. Maybe you want to go up a mountain, down an island. It's close. Means that command's more castable on turn 5. Means I can count this slightly more as a fixing source. We always play the busted cards? I agree. Hey, Sam. I know. I gotta record the whole podcast again. I said you shouldn't end up here very often. To be fair, I don't end up here very often. And if I owe 3, then it's just proof that what I said the other day is... It's the gospel. You gotta follow it. Alright, perfect. It's a win-win for the streamer, exactly. Wait, you don't think you should play off-type? I think it's something you should consider, but I have found so much success just not venturing into this part of the format. This could just be low sample size. I mean, I play a lot of this format. Not infinite games or anything. It also might be... I've heard from... I don't know where you're drafting beers, but I think there's some factors of arena best of 1, just like the average draft you see, like the good cards you see, which is a lot of them. Like, you see more good cards, so you don't have to draft offbeat decks as often. I hope Turtles has 10 archetypes instead of 5. I have bad news for you, my friend. I have bad news. Yeah, small sets are almost always going to have 5 draft archetypes. It's just extremely tough to get 10 in. Prisma Basher. Okay. It's a nice thing to copy. Let's just bind this thing, get a blue permanent on the battlefield. Next turn, we can Basher for 2. Pummeler for hire. Get your pummeler. Sorry, Basher for 3. What am I saying? Can't count. It's Coven all over again, for those who were with me during Midnight Hunt. Okay, so make some black mana. Why not? Not with my force, though. Thank you very much, Auto Tapper. Doop doop. How many sets in 2025 were 5 archetypes? It was just that set that shall not be named, right? It was just Spider-Man. Yeah, of course, I totally agree. Like, I was suggesting in my episode this week that like you should very much just try to stick to the main the main creature decks. But I would also... Oh, thank goodness. I would also say that it is right to do this kind of thing once in a while. Like, it would be weird to say it's never right to do this type of thing, right? Okay, so now we just do this. Again, make some black mana. Ashling's Command. I think we're just going to draw 2 and make a copy of Prisma Basher. Your eyes, nice. If they kill my Basher, I take 10. But I'm probably not trumping anyways, so I think that's okay. Okay, and they're into blocking. I was like, oh, wow, I drew eyes. 0 elves on the battlefield or in the graveyard. That's the truth. 1 in the battlefield, none in the graveyard. Yeah, I got you, Beers. I totally agree about that. It's a nuanced thing, right? It's not just like never always draft X deck or Y deck. That's the beauty of draft. Oh, I guess I can also Temporal Cleansing this Basher if they tap out. I didn't think about that at first. They didn't tap out, so I don't have to think about that. Would I prefer a 4/4 in my hand or an elf in the graveyard? I think it kind of depends what I'm digging to. I don't have anything, like, amazing in my deck I'm digging to right now, so 4/4 is probably good enough. Yeah, 4/4 in hand is worth 2 in the bush, exactly. For me, the format's been more about pockets of typal synergies. You know, I expected it to be like that for me too, and this is just my experience. It's just the drafts I've been in, right? Honestly, it hasn't been as much, like, I've been in way more decks that are just like, yep, you're doing the merfolk thing. You're doing the goblin thing. So that just might be influenced by, yeah, just like what my drafts have presented to me, you know? Right, yeah, I think, exactly. I think the tougher your draft pod is, the better, like, generally the better your, the people you're drafting with are, the more it's going to, you're gonna have to, like, you're just not gonna get the sicko deck that nobody touched, right? You're gonna have to draft more, like, Pocket of Synergy-ish. Hey, Mistastic, coming in with that sub. Appreciate ya. Ooh, that's annoying. Okay. New angle? Yeah, I've been trying out this new angle for a while. Less bed. Basically. Okay, Adherence is quite a large fellow. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay. No, thank you. Okay, so definitely gonna cleansing one of these things just to take a little bit of pressure off. I can also keep up Cavalry's Pump. Probably just better to play the Outrider, though. Yeah, so what are we looking for now? Assert Perfection might be a little too slow to kill these. Shine Striker would be reasonable. Oh, I guess it's only draw 2, which, I mean, would be fine. I would take it. Morkant's Loyalist. Honestly, Midnight Killing would be good. Ooh, that's also pretty painful. Pretty sure I'm supposed to block it this turn. Never mind. We might just be dead. I mean, I can still block it. I can go Cavalry, Archer, Outrider. Trades for Cavalry and Outrider. Oh, I could even just put one of the... Just put this thing in front of it, yeah. It trades for everything at that point. But it puts the elves in the graveyard for the eyes. That seems right. I guess the long-term plan for this game is crack eyes, find Morkant's Loyalist. That helps a lot. Oh yeah, they didn't take the free blights. That is true, that is true. Step 1. Step 1. I mean, step 1 and 2, sort of. Yeah, now we just do this. Crack eyes for 5. And then we're at a bit of a stalemate. Because they're not going to want to trade it the Loyalist, because then they get eyes back. So good idea to attack here. Trades for Pummeler. But then these things attack past the council. Prob's not. And yeah, I've got literal no interaction that can straight up deal with this. So we have to deal with it in combat or attack around them somehow, which will be pretty difficult. Oh, sorry, that's not true. I've got Assert Perfection plus Death Touch creature. That's how I do it. Oh yeah, I guess this play makes sense too. It's forced me to trade off a bunch. Yeah. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, now we need to draw something else. I mean, it's going to be a turn before the adherence attacks, but still in a little bit of trouble. Right, put a loyalist. Am I allowed to attack here? If I go like this, they can pump. I block loyalist on something. I can double block even. If they send in the council and they pump, I double block. That takes their turn. I guess not if they draw a land. They can still play this. Would very much like to push damage where I can. I don't think I'm allowed to attack with both, though. Okay. So this thing's what? A 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it's actually not massive. It's big, but not massive. Alright, and I have the pump up. Makes sense. A fine distinction, exactly. Alright, so we're just gonna go with the double trade here. Loyalist and a token. I mean, I guess they could keep the loyalists alive. That is a legal play that they can make. Would 10... Yeah, it would have to be a 10-10 for me to call it massive. Exactly, exactly. Okay, they do kill both. They do kill both. Actually feel fairly advantaged at this point. It's not bad. So we make 6 tokens. They can attack for like 11 next turn. I guess 12 if they hit a land. Yeah, 12. Okay, so we're trading the adherence for all the tokens we just made. $13 cards in the deck with 7 lands? 6 lands. Got another Outrider in there, a Stomper, a few other things here and there. Making this attack. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. And then we... How do we do this? I guess we can kill the Shield Bearer post-combat, or on our turn. So like this, and they hit us to 1? If I don't block like this, I don't have a creature next turn. So I think this is the block. Oh, true. Sorry. Yeah, I could have not blocked. No. I can't make that block, right? Because they double pump. Blocking with 5 is bad, right? Unless I'm missing something. Okay, so now we kill this thing. It'll be a 10-10. 5 is bad, but you could have killed the shield bearer and taken 1 less damage. Yes. Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying. And then I would be able. I'd be very safe to attack with even 2 here. I do think I'm supposed to attack with 1. I don't think I'm supposed to just chill. If they draw removal, I die. But whatever. Okay. It's a good one. Yeah, I think that other block chat was suggesting is slightly better. Luckily, it hasn't looked like it's punished me so far, but it might. What a tense game, by the way. I think they drew a removal spell. And they're like, ugh, it's just not enough. Looks like Assert Perfection. Yep, and then they have to jump. Oh, or not. What's this? Okay, it's nothing, I guess. Huh. What do we do about that? Do we just go for it? What's the punish here? There's really not a ton of instant speed stuff that gets me here. If I target the token, Fire Strike doesn't get me. They are in a position where they have to chump. If they don't have anything, and it kind of feels like they don't have anything. But I could deny them a draw step, right? That's kind of the trade-off here. They might have keep out. That's more reason to do this, right? Okay, wow. Yeah, that was a tough game. There's a question of, should the opponent been more patient with their adherence? It's hard to say, really. Like, I think it was totally fine where they attacked. They cleared a lot of their board, or they cleared a lot of my board, and at the end of the day, basically, I think it's good for them. I don't know their deck, but when I'm playing a deck like theirs, it's generally good to take your opportunities to clear the board. Because if the board ever gets too crowded, you're just dead. Like, you just don't have many ways to push through. There's kind of a point of no return. Unless you've got some specific tools. So, I think it was fine. Standing like Handy coming in with that prime. Appreciate you. Okay, let's wait on this. I kind of like waiting on it. I don't know what I want to get. Enjoy the Bezos bucks. Thank you. Thank you for donating your Bezos bucks. Well, hello. Okay. Let's bash. I doubt they will block, and I doubt I'll be able to block. Oh. Oh? No. Okay. So yeah, we'll go land, keep up tilling. Tilling first, so we better know what to grab with it. Or sorry, with the wilds. Interesting. No attacks. Wonder why. What are they playing around there? Let's just grab the creature. Over the blue source. Is it a good new attack? Interesting. I like, what are they playing around? Like, what's the idea there? Oh, scared of the flash bear. Sure. Okay, yeah, I get that. I get that. I don't know if I would have been super scared of that, to be honest, but I get the logic. And then perfection. All right. Yeah, I kind of think that's leveling yourself a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. Beers is very confident that it was a bad attack. To me, though, like, my attack just says, well, I'm pretty sure you're not going to block, or you're not going to have a block, so I should just... Sorry, not there. Like, I attacked. My logic for attacking was, I'm not going to be able to block, because you're probably going to play a creature. Doesn't that also make sense? Kind of like the double block here. I probably get to untap and kill this something. I'm not sure what I'm going to kill, but... Yeah, Guilt Leaf Embrace would just be a 1-for-1, so it's okay. Okay, I think we just pass. Have the archer up. Could also attack. Kind of like that less, though. Okay. Yeah, that's fairly bad. They had this, it seemed. Basically, if I single blocked, they'd be able to do what they wanted to do. Yikes. They have a really good looking Githkin deck. Yeah, this is sick. Holy crap. I think we're dead here. Not having the double greens costing us. I fetched the mountain, but then I drew a bunch of green cards. Maybe it's right to fetch the forest. I just have so much green. Yeah, I guess if this is their hand, I absolutely agree. Their no attack was right. I'm with ya. I'm sold. Saying it's trample? God. Okay. So we just block like this and hope to rip the green source so we can emissary and kill the champ. Oh, that might not even be enough, actually. We did it, but... yeah, it's not even enough, right? Yeah. Okay, GG. Yeah, if we had the double green there, that game goes a little bit differently. And I do think I was actually supposed to fetch it there. Just considering my potential next draws. It looks better if I draw my command, fetching the mountain, of course, but that's just less likely. How high mythic do I typically get? It depends how much I'm playing, grinding, like how much the set's clicking with me. But I've been mythic 1 fairly often in the past little while. Not for like long periods. I'm not the kind who's like, if I dip below mythic 1, then I have to play to get it back up. I'm just like, I got pretty high. I'm pretty happy. I also don't like try to get to 1. I just kind of, if I get there, I get there. Now I'm the one like, should I play around Sneakling? I think so. Okay. Oh, nice Dorito Corgi. Oh, I remember that game. Yeah. Outer House coming in with that prime. Appreciate it. Any thoughts of holding the emissary to play after the battler? Not really, no, because like that affects my potential to like cast my 3, cast my 4. Obviously, didn't have one in hand at the time, but I think I'm fairly happy to trade here. What am I naming the stone? My highest density, which is elves. Brutal. Shapeshifter? No. My highest density is not Shapeshifter. Guess I could have attacked first. Also, yeah, it is literally the worst thing to name. There is not a creature type worse to name than Shapeshifter. I guess that's not true. You can name, like, I don't know, elephants. Alright, so, elf. No, thank you. That is true. Calling human would be bad in this set. There are literal no humans on Lorwyn. Sorry, that's not true, right? Well, maybe. Are any of the Strixhaven students human? I know like native to the plane, there are no humans. They're gonna bounce Battler here? That's like fine. would like to reveal that. Thank you very much. Oh, nice. Okay. So, cool to just send here. Honestly, cool to just send both. Right, sorry, yeah, it was probably better to play Battler before that combat. I've done that a few times this game. Well, I shouldn't have. Do we agree that elementals are the most fun? Probably, yeah. I mean, I think elementals are the most fun. I can see an argument for goblins. Think probably if you pulled everybody. Oh, is this command? Could be Ashling's command. I think if you pulled everybody, they'd probably, like, Kithkin probably comes last, right? Don't think goblins win as much elementals? Yeah, for sure. Elementals is a better deck. Ah, Gifter. Okay. Well, I can still trade here. I mean, this doesn't even meaningfully improve their block, right? Oh, sorry. That's not true. That's not true. Okay, so pumping... Well, no, pumping does still make sense. Okay. Goblins is fine if you're the only drafter at the table. Yeah, absolutely. Like, Goblins is a draftable deck. We're just saying, compared to the other decks, not as good. That's all. That touch, well, we get to win the combat rather than this trade, right? Yeah, I think they also probably forgot about cavalry. That'd be my guess. Alright. Cards are on the table, literally. Yes, please. Tis but a draw too, but I'm fine with that. Oh, suppose I should have left a green source untapped rather than a blue. In case I drew like land 2-drop green card. You got it. Sure are digging through the deck. Isn't it better to resolve stone first than eyes? I don't think so. So this is a good point to start pushing. Probably. Tap down the Cinder. I mean, they might make me draw a card. I'm also kind of fine with that. Oh, sorry. I should have tapped down the Recluse, I think. Yeah, Feathers, that's a reasonable thought. Attack with the Battler as a 3/3, because then they're more likely to just single block. Oh, sick. Twas a good draw. Twas a good draw. Guess put it on the Trampler. Doesn't matter too much. I guess probably also better to kill the thing that gives them a bounce trigger, now I think about it. Okay. It's probably best to bin this, right? Cool. Yeah, huge flex. Yeah, we get some flex equity. They don't really have any good blocks here. At least, they don't have any blocks that I'm sad about, I guess. They have kind of reasonable blocks in general. But still blocks I think we're good with. Oh, I suppose I also could have pumped my emissary instead here. That's worse. How can the light mode dark border only works for streamers? Because streamers know the secret tech, which is to go to your graphics and go to hybrid battlefields on. They teach you that in streamer school. Day one. I don't think it's on by default, right? I think the default is off. I know I had to turn it on. So I'm guessing the default is off. Also, people are like, how do you turn it on? So the default's probably off. Alright, this hand is keepable. A little unexciting. Got a little better with the mountain. Bind ya. Tweeze in the bin. I missed the land, right? Okay, probably gonna miss it no more. Decent turn next turn, just pumping these two twice. That's assuming they don't interact, of course, but... my opponents wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare interact. Alright, well... I'm sure they have something, but we're just gonna go for this here. Okay. Or they go to 2. What's this? What you got? Is this Ashley's command? Could be Ashley's command. Yeah, it is Ashley's command. Okay. Wow, surprised they didn't block, no? Am I dead somehow? Are they gonna kill me? They are. Nice. GG. Mirror from Sweet. I actually haven't got to play with this card. I think it's not a bad card, by the way. It's like a very fine playable. I don't like when my am I dead sensors go off. Because then I die. Alright, good enough. How foolish of me to put Prisma Basher in my deck for my opponent to copy, eh? This is probably a card I want to keep, but I also want to hit the 4th land and 5th land and 6th land. Yeah, I'm actually going to bin this. Would I like to play off curve here? Probably fine to. Okay, they missed the land. Let's get in. Something. I don't really want to lose my green source. I think I'm into just this attack. Oh, if it's the sneak, it's real bad. Oh, Navigator. Okay. That's fine. We just trade. They hit their land. You pitch a Kithkeeper. Good thing to pitch when you're on 3 lands. Yeah, I want this. But I'm not desperate for it. I think I should probably keep it. Okay, that one I will top. Or bottom. Whatever they choose. If they attack with Cinder, I think I'm into the trade. Honestly, a little annoying here. It's not so bad, but looks better than this card usually does, that's all. Okay, I will take a land or a spell here. Reveal. Oh, sick. Alright, let's jam. Especially good because now I've got an elf in the yard. They like their hand. Okay, that is totally fine. Now that I've got this dignitary, don't think I top a land. Ooh. Uh-huh. Okay, so now we just do this, yeah. No, probably do this first. I mean, let's do some math here. I can give +2 to the Wickermaw, and then copy this next turn. Still just +2. Okay, let's just play this thing first. Still have one more relevant spell in hand. Hopefully it's another Kithkeeper. Don't forget to use the Wickermaw before Vivid. Yeah. There are some silly things I forget sometimes here and there, but Wickermaw is one I'm pretty good about. Loving your shirt? Yeah, I'm a fan of this shirt. Ooh, okay. Okay, that is honestly really good. Okay. Quick clock. We have a pretty quick clock too, but like, I felt really good about this game and now I'm feeling less good. Just by a little though. Oh, I guess one unfortunate thing is without a forest here, I can't both. Okay, I'm gonna keep the forest. I can't both Basher and attack with Dignitary. All right, so oops, we're not gonna be casting you. We're just going to call black. Cast the Basher. Doop. Oh, interestingly, seems they've got something to do with instant speed. It's not this. That's sorcery speed only. Six. This is 12 damage. So should probably only attack with 2 things here. Yeah, it could be the draw 3. White Pump Spell? I wouldn't bet on that. That card's just not a card people play very often. Oh, sorry, it's Spiral. It's Spiral. Duh. Oh, wonder if they knew that had Trample. Oh, sorry, it doesn't have Trample. Wonder if I knew it didn't have Trample. This card, I don't know what it is about this card. I've seen multiple people, including myself, say this card breaks their brain. Just like, what does it do again exactly? Oh, it doesn't give Trample. Oh, +X to the team. Oh, no, it's only to X things. Like, there's just like a lot of weird little things about this card. I agree, if it gave Trample, it'd be a little too good. Okay. So, I think we should be okay here. Yeah, drawing a reach creature. Oh, drawing an emissary. Holy. Yeah, that's sick. Okay. Or, sorry, I don't know. I'm like oohing and awing about emissary. It's not like it gains more than just 1 life here. So, wipe the board. Is this lethal? +3/+3 to 3 things? They're going to have one blocker. Seems pretty dead to me. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Almost didn't do the thing. Almost made a boo-boo. I told you I was good at this. I told you I remembered that one. That thing. Sorry for giving everybody a heart attack there. Maybe the math wouldn't have mattered. I don't know. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't have gotten... Yeah, no, the math would have mattered, right? They go -1. It's one less pump, one less creature I get to target, and one less +1 to each of the things I target. I wouldn't have been dead unless they draw a pump spell or something, but obviously better to win the game there than not, so... Okay. Wincing a little, but keeping. Come on, land. Not a land. Oh, I guess I can bash. Yeah, bash maybe they trade. What's the difference between someone who has a 60% win rate in Mythic and the players with the highest win rate? Gameplay. That's it. I can promise you. If you're drafting... If the level you're drafting is getting you to 60% win rate, it's your gameplay. I mean, it kind of... Not necessarily, but it's very, very difficult to get to 60% win rate by drafting bad decks. Let me put it that way. Oh, thanks, Maynard. Appreciate that. Alright, let's trade. Hopefully they'll... Well, attack. Hopefully they'll trade. They don't. And honestly, like, that is the really... Unfortunately, once you get to about 60, 61% win rate... That's when the hard work really starts, you know? That's when it's all about really small edges. Okay, cool. You're probably not making obvious mistakes. Is one way I would frame this. You might be, but... The mistakes you're probably making, that's hard to even classify a lot of them as mistakes. Just like, slightly unoptimal when you're considering all the probabilities. You know, like that's the kind of mistake you're making. Wonder if they just jump here. Yeah, exactly, Center. Play better is not helpful advice, but it is the advice. To get better at that point, you either need to just grind, and study your losses, or get somebody like outside pair of eyes, basically a friend, somebody you trust, somebody who's better at Magic than you. How do I improve my gameplay when it's very difficult to make correct decisions? That is the #1 question. That is the golden question. Cheon, top mythic player, still makes mistakes on stream. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, basically, every good player ever is going to make mistakes still. There is no such thing as a perfect player. That's what's great about Magic. Your goal is to get as close to perfect as possible, but John Finkel makes mistakes, you know? Oh, for sure. Yeah. There's absolutely edges to be gained in mentality. I agree with that. Except Ekin. Ekin doesn't make mistakes. I've played against Ekin where I mean, obviously hard to say something is a mistake without seeing their hand and their deck. But I do remember specifically, like, they did something, and I went, that's odd, and then they scooped. So I think I'd put money on it was a mistake. Looking forward to the limited one too. Oh, like the sealed video? Yeah, sealed video coming out Wednesday. For those looking for... I mentioned this a little while ago. So I was going to put out a sealed video. It's coming. It's coming this week, Wednesday probably. I'm really excited for it, actually. Because my editor put in a lot of work. Shout out to my editor, Harrison. And it looks really nice. I got to see a preview of it. So I'm excited for that to come out. Excited to have that as, the spanking brand new shiny video of the week. This is certainly interesting. Did I try for any boxes? No, I don't play. Directs, I think, are a scam. Like, I believe you should not play directs, to be quite honest. Not in a, you should never ever play them if you, like, they're fun. If your goal is to plus EV on them, you shouldn't play them. And I mean that even for the best players out there. Yes, I agree. Final Fantasy is the exception to that. Final Fantasy was, the EV was so good for winning that it was worth it. One is thinking. They play a ramp spell. Yeah, Ninja Turtles being at the end of this month is fairly criminal. it's something. Let's get this stone going. Those Final Fantasy Collector boosters are $100 each now? Yeah. Yeah, pretty wild. I kind of want to keep this, but I think just like... I think it's a little too bad. Maybe not. I play it. I don't think so. Super refreshing to hear somebody speak about the directs. Yeah, like I am very, you know me, I'm very positive about just like Magic in general. Like I have a good time playing it. I read it's funny, I read a comment, I don't remember where it was, but I read a comment this week that was like, do people really like Lorwyn? I get that content creators have to hype up sets, but like everybody's talking, talking Lorwyn up like it's a really fun set, and I didn't find it that. I think a lot of people have in their head that like content creators hype up sets because it's like monetarily you're incentivized to do it, I guess, because then more people will play it. I think it's the opposite. I think if you're a content creator, at least this is true for me, if you're a content creator, you like Magic so much that it doesn't matter so much that like the ins and outs of every set. You're just happy playing Magic, right? Anyways, that was an aside, but see what they go. I'm just like multitasking, trying to figure out what they're doing here. I forgot my train of thought. I completely forgot my train of thought. It'll come back to me. I'll leave you with that half of the story. maybe I'll read the comments and see what spurred that thought. I don't remember anymore. I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay, we get to kill this. Nice. Good draw. Oh, not that one. Oh, shoot. I don't have black and plate. Duh. I was thinking I had Wickermaw. My brain is scrambled today for some reason. Oh, sorry. I remember now. I remember the end of my story. All I was going to say is, yeah, you know me. I'm pretty positive about sets in general. I dislike playing Magic. But, yeah, like, I think that the Arena Directs are pretty... It's tough to call it a scam, right? But I think that it's playing on people's expectations of doing reasonably well, right? It's very much just like, oh, yeah, like, I could win that, right? It's the gambler mentality. Yeah, Predatory is not too far off of what I think it is, yeah. The connection of what I was saying, those two parts of the story was, I feel like often I call out things I think are quite bad when Wizards do them. I don't think there's too many things that cross the line all that often. But I wouldn't recommend anybody play a direct unless they just want to have fun, basically. Whereas, like, when I'm like, yeah, you should play this set, I genuinely believe this is a fun set. You should play this set, you know? Or whatever set it is. Not necessarily this one. But I do think it's a fun set. You should play this set. Yeah, exactly, Rheostatic. Like, also, this is the other thing. Don't feel bad or, like, don't take what I'm saying as, like, oh, I shouldn't play the directs. If that is enjoyable to you and, like, either from the perspective of maybe winning or it's just fun, like, don't let me be a party pooper. I'm just saying, like, often people ask me, did you play the direct this weekend? And I'm always like, no, I just don't play those. You don't count it out high-stakes Magic? It's definitely high-stakes Magic, and I do play them sometimes when I'm like, oh, I really want to play some high-stakes Magic. Absolutely. I think my biggest gripe with it, honestly, is the 2 losses. There's just not a lot of room for bad variants. 2 losses is just extremely rough. Got me. Cleansing this Mystic sounds kind of nice. Or this hold to get my Mystic seems kind of nice. I guess I should have done this first. Sorry, I don't know if I read this comment out loud or I just read it in my head. But if I did not read it out loud, or if I did read it out loud, it's worth saying again. High stakes Magic doesn't necessarily mean playing against great players in this case. Yeah, that's the other thing. Arena opens I'm much more into. That's totally fine. At least more fine, in my opinion. Because, like, you get to play a lot. If you make it to day 2, you get to play a lot of Magic. And I don't really mind entering a few times to get to day 2. To do well on day 1. Personally, I don't mind that. Everybody's tolerance for these kind of things are going to vary. That I don't mind so much, though. Right. They're very different now. Sorry, I'm talking about the opens as they were. The new opens or whatever. What are they called? I don't even remember what they're called. But there's one next week, right? Or 2 weeks from now? I don't know exactly how I feel about those. I am optimistic, though. ALCQs. Yeah, that's it. It's a bit of a mouthful. What happened here? Ah, okay. Alright, well, now we know everything happening here. Let's just... Oh, I shouldn't have played my land. My bad. Whoopsie. Yeah, big mistake. Medium mistake, I guess. I don't get to add... Actually, it's kind of similar, because, like, I get an additional point of power this turn, but wouldn't flash in the Archer, so actually, I guess it's fairly similar. They don't want to nab my Gathering Stone. Or maybe they do. They didn't do it before. I guess the giant Zealot was killing them. How do I feel about this Prisma Basher? I guess I feel good enough. Actually, definitely good enough. I feel great about this Prisma Basher. What a fortuitous draw, Chad. Okay, cool. And then we get a 3/5 that draws 3 after. Well, fortunately we didn't need to do that. Okay, I'm pretty happy with 5-2 with this deck so far. It's not the most streamlined, but I think the fundamentals are sound. I say that as I have a blue card in my hand with Mountain Forest. We're gonna keep this. It's very reasonable to Assume we draw the third land, and that's what makes this hand functional. Hey. Just play a 1-2. Even better. Even better. 1-3. It's more value when I eat it in combat. Unless they're ghosting. I gotta say, I've been, I feel like people don't ghost as often as they used to. I don't know if that's true. Just a vibe I have. Ghosting in this economy? Alright, I sure would like to eat this Wicker Mom, but I'll just stone here. Yeah, that's good enough. How often do you feel like you got ghosted in the past? I definitely had games where I'm like, yeah, there's no way they'd play like this if they weren't ghosting. And I don't get that feeling very often anymore. Once in a while, but it's definitely not as common as it used to be. Ooh, Dawn Hand. I probably should kill that thing. What's ghosting? Oh, ghosting is just like, if you're facing a streamer, you're watching their stream as you're playing. And so, you know, you get all the informational advantage of their hands and their future plays if they're talking them out. Yeah, stream sniping, sorry. That's, it's a regional dialect. Nice, good draws. I have to show them the elf in my hands? I don't want to do that. Fine. Could just not behold, but then I can't cast the archer, right? This is 4 mana. Oh, it's only 3! Duh! Oh, yeah. Lost out a little bit of value that probably won't matter. Tisk tisk, Alex. Tisk tisk. Alright, spooky dookie. Oh boy, oh. They doing it? Oh man, alright, alright. Okay, well. I mean, we're kind of just in danger of dying in the air. I guess I can block. I don't have to attack. It's not forced. Is this gonna be another game where Prisma Basher Uno reverse cards us? They like have another changeling, or they bounce their changeling? Clarm, and with that card analysis. What card are we analyzing, Clarm? Okay, that's good. No attacks. At the beginning of the year, you made videos of your coaching. Would you consider doing more of those in the future? I found them very helpful. Potentially. Yeah, they're, kind of have to get the right person to do them. They're also not super duper popular. But I definitely can consider them in the future. All right, gotta find something here. Could just be island. Island would be a fine thing to find. We get some looks. Nope. Yeah, okay. Tilling. Okay. I mean, it works if I find the island still, right? And we get to gain a life? My oh my. How much stuff do I attack with here? Only the basher, right? Yeah, I think I'm only allowed to attack with the basher. Yeah, I should play the Shrieker first. Well, no, I actually think I should play this first because if I find command, I should attack with Battler instead. Oh, sorry, that doesn't make sense because they can't trade. So whatever, who cares? Or actually, hold on. Can I just attack with both? I block here. I would die to a removal spell. Okay. Yeah, just the one. Oh, yeah, it's true. I die to removal either way. It is right for me to attack with both. Sorry, I was off by one with my count. My bad. Alright. I'm dead. GG's. Good games, good games. My coaching is tied to my Patreon generally. So, top tier of the Patreon. I can even link it in chat here. But essentially it works out to $50 a month. Plus a bunch of other benefits and stuff. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I also do individual sessions for a bit more than the monthly on Patreon. You can email me or message me on Discord if you want more info as well. Okay, so tricky draft. I think we ended up in a good spot. It was definitely weird, right? Like we ended up in blue-green, which is not typical. Elves splashing command, basically. But it worked out nice. It was a nice little mid-range deck.